So we've established off camera that Pitbull number 2 and Shane were working together, as were the Gangsters and the Eliminators.
Now let me ask you this: Are we going with the contention that Scott Hall and Nash have just left WWE, or because I forget exactly. I should have asked you off camera, but it just dawned on me as we come back. I forget exactly, but they hadn't been off the TV for very long, had they?
No,
I mean, they just.
It was a quick thing.
So it was like a couple weeks later.
Yeah.
All right. Go with your say. I'm sorry.
Okay. No, and Dreamer was working with Brian Lee. So you wanted some of the angles that we're working as we go into.
Just wanted to know where we're at
into June.
Since I don't remember. But I kind of had an idea. All right. Well, the first thing I would do is, let me think. I believe the first thing I would do is it's like I hate to say, but I would have to copy exactly what they did. I'd bring Hall in first. I would definitely bring Hall in first and to set the tempo. Because I don't think, if I recall correctly, Hall came in, I don't think, most people didn't realize Hall and Nash had even left, from what I gather.
That was the whole thing, right?
Yeah,
it just kind of showed up on TV.
So, you can't, I hate to sound like I'm going to copy what Sullivan did in WCW or whoever was the booker then, but you can't argue with that. You bring Hall in, you bring Hall in, and the first thing he says, I think, is he's got to put over the company. He's got to come, because if he doesn't, because he's a bigger star, he's a much bigger star than anybody there. Far and away bigger. And if he comes in and shits on a place, you can do it two ways. You can come in, he can shit on a place, and then get his comeuppance, but then you're not getting any value out of him, because if he gets his comeuppance, then you're not going to make any money with him. You know what I mean? You're gonna, you might draw a little bit, but he comes in and goes, you know what? I've always been the rebel. I should have been the star in WWE. I got run over by the red, white, and blue bus that Luger was driving. Not that it was Luger's fault, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But that's if you talk to Scott in real life, that's what he always says, is Razor got run over by the red, white, and blue bus. Because Razor was about ready to get the big push. Every time Razor was going to get the big push, something would happen. So he comes in, he's like, you know what? I'm tired of being with the establishment, because, Razor's never been in the establishment, neither Scott Hall. And, so I had to come to where the playing field is fair, where, it's not where because you don't want to say it's fake, but you don't want to say where it's not where the game isn't rigged, so to speak. Because you're not saying that the wrestling's rigged or fake. You're saying that the organization and the management is rigged or fake. You know what I mean? The opportunity is he's being held back. So I would have him come right in, but then I would have instantly I'd have somebody. So I guess I'd have to bring him in as a babyface. And I think right off the bat, I think the heel would have to come up and say, this is horseshit, which would be me. I think instantly I'd have to get up in his face, but I don't think I would get up in his face immediately like myself. I would send Stevie or the Meanie, or I'd send a Stevie and the Meanie up there, to go up there and go, listen, this is our show, and as such, Raven and we're Raven's boys and we rule the roost here, and you want to get some TV time, you got to go through us. So of course, he pie faces one, power bombs the Meanie or whatever he does, or the Razor's Edge is the Meanie, and we get out of the segment. Let Styles and them talk about it. I think we'd have to get a couple of different opinions on that afterwards, and we play it off like, this guy doesn't even work here. Not unlike they did with when the original Midnight Express hit, which was a Paulie angle, which I'm sure Paulie would love. When the original Midnight Express showed up on TBS against the regular Midnight Express, and with who's the manager on that?
Cornette?
No, it was Paul. Was it Paulie? You can tell me. You can say it.
Paulie and Cornette.
Was it Paulie and Cornette?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it was Paulie and Cornette. And Cornette's going, and Jim Ross is screaming, and because Paulie shows up with the original Midnight Express, and Paul and I loved it as a kid watching it. Cross is going, my God, they don't even work for this company. So it's like, oh fuck, they don't even work here. You know, it gives that semblance of reality without being like, you know, you want to have it feel realistic. You know, it doesn't have to be real whatsoever, but it has to feel real. It has to give that, so I would have those guys get trashed, and then maybe let me think. I'm looking at the roster here. You know, I think maybe they'd get some words from, you know, I think Joey Styles would say, you know what, I need to find out what other, find out what some other people think about this. You know, Dreamer give a little rah-rah speech, you know, give him a little babyface rub. You know, because that's what he does. He's the white meat babyface. I think you go to Shane, and Shane could talk about what a dick he is, and he could, you know, hey, let Shane shoot with it, you know what I mean? But, you know, keep it short, you know, pre-tape him so it's nice and short so it doesn't go on for 6 hours.
So all interview segments surrounding what happened in previous
No, not
week
all.
with
They'd be
flop.
interspersed throughout the show. You know what I mean? But, you know, with some key people, because it's a key, it's a huge thing. I think, so as I'm thinking, I mean, you know, I am thinking on this as I go, so,